So this is by Srila Prabhupada. And he says, this is a very nice song sung by Narottam Das Thakur. He advises that Nitai Pada Kamala, because today, for anyone who doesn't know, is Lord Nityananda's appearance day. He advises that Nitai Pada Kamala, the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda, Kamala means lotus, Pada means feet, are a shelter where one will get the soothing moonlight, not only of one moon, but of millions of moons. Anyone see the moon this morning? It's beautiful. And of course tonight will be the full moon. But anyway, we'll get into that in a second. We can just imagine the aggregate total value of the soothing shine of millions of moons. In this material world, Jagat, which is progressing towards hell, as Prabhupada used to say, they say we're making progress. And Prabhupada would say, in what direction? The moth is flying into the flames. He's making progress, but where's he actually going? So they're very busy. What other entity is always busy? Okay, bees, good. Monkey. Are we very happy with the monkeys very busy? Bee makes nice honey, but the monkey just makes a mess out of everything. So to be making progress, to be busy, where are you going? In this material world, Jagat, which is progressing towards hell, there is always a blazing fire, and everyone is struggling hard without finding peace. Therefore, if the world wants to have real peace, it should take shelter under the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda, which are cooling like the shining of millions of moons. Judaya means relief. If one actually wants relief from the struggle of material existence and actually wants to extinguish the blazing fire of material pangs, Narottam Das Thakur advises, take shelter of Lord Nityananda. What will be the results of accepting the shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda? He says, Heno Nitai Binabai. Unless one takes shelter under the shade of the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda, Radha Krishna Paite Nai, it will be very difficult for him to approach Radha and Krishna. The aim of this Krishna consciousness movement is to enable us to approach Radha and Krishna and associate with the Supreme Lord in his sublime pleasure dance. Again, another blissful statement by Prabhupada, his sublime pleasure dance. Where were we? Narottam Das Thakur advises, if one actually wants to enter into the dancing party of Radha and Krishna, he must accept the shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda. Then he says, Se sambandha nahi yar, vrita janma gelotar. Sambandha means connection or contact. Anyone who has not contacted a relationship with Nityananda is understood to have spoiled his human birth. In another song, Narottam Das Thakur similarly says, Hari Hari Bipale Janma Gonayanu. Anyone who does not approach Radha Krishna through a relationship with Lord Nityananda has uselessly, what is this? Leaving us on that high note. Has usually spoiled his life. Vrita means useless. Janma means life. Tar means his. And sambandha means relationship. Anyone who does not make a relationship with Nityananda is simply spoiling the boon of the human form of life. Why is he spoiling it? You don't have it. I'd like to have Ram say the Bengali, but anyway. Why is he spoiling it? Why are we spoiling our life? Se means that. Pasu means animal. And durachara means misbehaved, or most misbehaved. Without elevation to Krishna consciousness through the mercy of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, life is simply spoiled for the animal propensities of sense gratification. Narottam Das says that an ordinary animal can be tamed, but when a human being is animalistic, having only animal propensities, he is most horrible, and he can't be tamed. You can train an animal. You can train a lion with a whip. Prabhupada said you can train a snake by mantra. And Prabhupada just well, we don't have time, so I won't say it. Ordinary cats and dogs, even a tiger can be tamed. But when a human being goes out of his way and neglects to take the human activity of Krishna consciousness, his higher intelligence will simply be misused for animal propensities and is very difficult to tame him. That same intelligence that would lead one to Krishna consciousness, that powerful intelligence, much smarter than the animals, is simply allows us to dig a deeper hole in the ground. Instead of just, like lions, dogs, they all follow their instincts. They have seasons that they mate. They have specific foods. You never see a bird say, hey, forget it. I'm not going south this year. I'm going to France. They are controlled. But a human being, that's freedom which allows us to turn our face from Maya, misuse creates so many problems. Simply creates problems. Like a monkey. Just creates problems. You ever have a monkey come in and clean up your house? Just put everything in order? Fold your socks, put them in the drawer? Never happens. Huh? If only. Okay, where were we? Ordinary cats and dogs, and even a tiger can be tamed. But when a human being goes out of his way and neglects to take to the human activity of Krishna consciousness, his higher intelligence will simply be misused for animal propensities, and it's very difficult to tame him. The enactment of state laws cannot make a thief an honest man, because his heart is polluted. This is the key point. Because his heart is polluted. You can try everything you want, but unless you cleanse the heart, the person, A, will be completely in anxiety, anger, lust, greed, frustration, bewilderment. So the individual's in anxiety and creates anxiety for everybody else. Dianeti was telling me there's evidently some famous artist in Mexico, and he needed a liver transplant, kidney transplant. Turns out that his wife, it was a match, very rare. So out of love, she gave him his kidney, gave her his kidney. As soon as he got his strength back, fell in love with a nurse or some other woman, divorced her and ran off. I was saying to Balaam, did she ask for her kidney back? I don't think it works that way, But you just create trouble for yourself and trouble for others. Every man sees that a person who commits criminal offenses is punished by the government. And also in scriptural injunction, punishment in hell is mentioned. But despite hearing from Scripture and seeing the actions of the state law, the foolish cannot be tamed. What are they doing? Nitai na bole muke. Since they do not know who Nityananda is, they never say the names of Lord Nityananda and Lord Chaitanya. Like, we got a poster printed one time. And it was, that famous picture of Krishna, and he's sitting and he has his arms around a cow. It's Gopal. It's a famous, And so we saw that the printer had made a note, his own personal note, to remember which account and purpose it was. And he wrote, it's beautiful Govinda with a cow. He wrote girl with dog. So they don't, and we were saying the other day, they never feel the relief. You're out of the frying pan into, anyone know the saying? Into the fire. Devotees, we actually get relief because we take shelter of Krishna. Krishna's lotus feet that, Krishna will save me. And whatever I'm getting, it's a token response for something I've done in the past, or Krishna's trying to teach me something. Let me just surrender. So, but they never feel that. They never feel relief. Even they go to sleep. I remember my father was a big businessman. And he was a nice guy on one hand. But I remember I was going to India. He was in London on business. So I stopped to see him. And I just slept on there was a nice, whatever. So I'm sleeping here. He's in his bed here. And all night long he was tossing and turning. And buy, sell, buy, don't sell, sell. I was sleeping like a log, So even they sleep, they don't get relief. Prabhupada said they have to take a pill to go to sleep, and they have to have a pill to wake up. So they never get the relief. Devotees, in any condition, they just, Hare Krishna. and them, they never say Hare Krishna. They never get any relief. So that's Prabhupada saying. But despite, okay, what are they doing? Since they don't know who Nityananda is, they never say the names of Lord Nityananda and Lord Chaitanya. Majilo samsara sukhe. Majilo means becomes absorbed. They become absorbed in the so-called material enjoyment, and therefore they go deep down into material existence. Vidyakule ki koribe tara. If one has no connection with Nityananda, and if one does not come to Krishna consciousness, his vidya, or so-called academic education, and kule, birth in a high family or great nation, will not protect him. What did Prabhupada say that PhD stands for? Prabhupada liked that, piled higher and deeper. And they say in Australia, PhD stands for permanent head damage. And I came up with one on my own, prominent humility disorder. So, I mean, we're not against education. I mean, a microphone and, health, and, we're taking advantage of all these things. We fly in jets. But when it just creates this, as it says here, when it becomes just proud and bewildered, and we've got everything figured out, just have a few problems to work out. Okay. If one has no connection with Nityananda, and if he doesn't come to Krishna consciousness, his knowledge or so-called academic education and birth in a high family or great nation, hey, I'm American, I'm a Trump, I'm whatever I am, you remain a chump. Regardless of whether one is born in a very big family or nation or has a very advanced academic education, at the time of death, nature's law will act. His work will be finished, and he will get another body according to that work. Prabhupada, and because it's an in-house, relatively in-house audience, Nehru, Prime Minister of India, the conceived of and organized the non-aligned nations, the third world. They weren't communists, they weren't capitalists. It was, he did many politically very powerful things. But where did he come in his name? Gandhi, he said one time, Nehru, Prabhupada had his pharmacy. We're a little off the track. Prabhupada had his pharmacy in Allahabad, and the Nehru family had one of their houses there. And Prabhupada said they would come, they would never buy Indian Ayurvedic medicine. They always wanted the latest from Germany or England. Prabhupada could understand they had only disdain for Vedic culture. And Nehru said, I am British by culture. I am American by temperament. I am Indian only by accident. And Prabhupada said there were two astrologers. You know this one, Ram? So here he is. Nehru, you go to India, Nehru this, Nehru that, this, so many different things, and he was respected all over the world. So many things. When he died, just as a sidelight, he was having an affair with the last viceroy of Mountbatten, with his wife. It's known fact. I mean, I'm not suggesting. It's known fact. And so those who knew it, they called him Lord Mountbatten's poodle, because he was just like a whipped dog, because he was madly in love with Lord Mountbatten's wife. So when he died, Prabhupada said two different astrologers, big position. Anyone know what he became? Did he get to become president of the United States or get a big political position? Prabhupada said he became a dog in the Swedish embassy. Prabhupada said he still got to be in politics. He was in the embassy. He was still barking at the gate, you can't come here, no trespassing. But so big whatever, but what do you become in your next life? You're a dog in the Swedish. Prabhupada says, if you want to offer respects, you can take him one biscuit. Biscuit means like a little cookie, you can give him a little cookie. So Prabhupada's saying it here, that so what? Regardless of whether one's born in a very big family or a nation or a very advanced academic position, at the time of death, nature's law will act, and his work will be finished, and he will get another body according to that work. So Well, Batten's poodle, then you can become a dog in the Swedish embassy. Why are these human animals acting in this way? They become maddened by false conception of bodily life, and thus they have forgotten their eternal relationship with Lord Nityananda. Why such forgetful persons accept illusory energy as factual? Balaram was saying yesterday, what was your sloka, Balaram? Reality, something? Fallacy, what was it? Anyway, we've got this warped mentality that this is reality. But it's a dream. It's really, Prabhupada says, in the daytime, at night we have so many dreams, isn't it? Dreaming so many things. And in the morning you wake up to, God, that was a crazy dream. I'm not the emperor or the Shah of Iran. I'm not flying on a carpet and have a mountain of gold or whatever. I'm not being chased by a tiger. We had devotees, the beauty of Krishna consciousness, we had devotees who would go on Sankirtan, tell books in their sleep. You'd see him talking. We had one pujari, he's lying flat on his bed, back, but his arms going like this and his other arms going like this. What do you think he was doing while he was sleeping? He's ringing the arti bell and he's offering his sticky incense. He's offering arti in his sleep. I'm sure that Dayanidhi, he has two dreams. He's either dreaming about serving Radha Giridhari on the altar, or he's dreaming about how to get the money to pay bills. He's absorbed in Krishna's service, So, which one is true? When you wake up, the dream's gone, and you think, oh, that was just a dream. But at night, when you go to sleep, what happens to this world? It's gone. On one hand, it's not, So which one is, just because you're dreaming longer during the daytime, you say that's reality. And because nighttime is shorter, you say, oh, that's night. People die of heart attacks in their, you say, well, it's not real, it's just a dream. But people die of heart attacks. I'll say, because Prabhupada said, there's nocturnal emission. They think they're embracing some beautiful woman or something. So how can you say it's not real? It has a real effect. Anyway, so that's the point Prabhupada's making here. They've forgotten their eternal relationship with Nityananda. Such forgetful persons accept the illusory energy as factual. Asatya yedai refers to that which is not a fact, or in other words, maya. Maya means that which has no existence, but is a temporary illusion only. Persons who have no contact with Nityananda accept this illusory body as factual. Narottam Das Thakur then says, if you actually want to approach the association of Radha and Krishna, you must achieve the mercy of Lord Nityananda first. When he is merciful towards you, then you will be able to approach Radha and Krishna. Narottam Das Thakur advises that one firmly catch the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda. Then again he says, Nityayer Charana Satya. One should not misunderstand and think that he has caught hold of Maya. Similarly, the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda may also be something like that, Maya or illusion. Hey, if there wasn't religion, we'd have to invent it. It helps old ladies and people afraid of death get through the night. Everything's illusion, so if that illusory conception gets you through the night, okay, fine. But it's all illusion. And people become cynical. Isn't that listed as one of the reasons people reject, probably listed in Bhagavad Gita? Because you get cheated by so many people, you become a cynic. Well, there's no God, there's no real relief. Just squeeze out as much as you can. Enjoy the ride. What is it? Die young and leave a good corpse. Or whatever it is, It's foolishness. So that's being said here that, you may think, oh, you guys are saying this. This man says this man says that. Someone says, sex is the goal, power is the goal, money's the goal. No. So we may doubt about Lord Nityananda. Therefore, Narottam Das confirms the lotus feet of Nityananda are not illusion, they're fact. And one who engages in the transcendental loving service of Lord Nityananda also becomes transcendental. If one engages in the transcendental loving service of Nityananda in Krishna consciousness, he immediately achieves his transcendental position on the spiritual platform, which is eternal and blissful. Therefore, he advises, Nitai pada sada kore asa. Always try to catch the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda. Naratam bodo dukhi. Narottam Das Thakur, the Acharya, is saying that is taking the position that he is very unhappy. Actually, he's representing ourselves. He says, this is the close of the song, he says, my dear Lord, I am very unhappy. Therefore, I'm praying to Lord Nityananda to make me happy. Please keep me in a corner of your lotus feet. That's a seagull. Huh? Is it a seagull? It's a seagull. And do you think he's happy? He's crying. Everybody's crying in this world. There's a little dog next to me. As soon as the master leaves, he yips and yaps and howls. It almost sounds human. It's an interesting thing. And he's lamenting that there's no question that dog is not happy. So I think what we'll do, because of the time factor, we'll see how far we get, and then maybe tomorrow, whoever gives, well, they will sort it out. Because I have a commentary by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur about the marks on Lord Nityananda's lotus feet. And it's quite blissful. So, but I should say something about this song. As I was saying Friday night, when Vaisheshika Prabhu was asked, what does Hare Krishna mean? He said it means, I need help. And just like Narottam Das Thakur is saying here, it's honest. If I say to you, I am a self-made man, I am independent, I don't need any crutch of religion or, okay, fine. You say you're independent, you don't need a crutch, don't breathe air. How will that work out? You got a big bottle of water there. What if I say no more water for you? Finished. So with the fact of the matter, it's honest. I have a bad leg. So if I say, I don't need a cane, well, good luck, my friend. I can't make it 10 feet. So to say that I don't need, I'm independent, it's described, one of the principles in the Srimad Bhagavatam, in the first canto of Bhagavatam, first step in God realization, is the acknowledgement that we are dependent. It stretches on that source that we're dependent on is merciful. And it can go on to that, he's our best of friends, Dinu Bandhu, and that dependence is a relationship of love. I mean, it expands and comes to the point of bhakti. But when they say Mother Earth, the child is dependent on the mother. So to say that we are independent or we don't need anything is just, and that religion is a crutch, and this idea that there's some man in the sky or form in the sky watching a catcher in the rye, just there to catch us if we have some difficulty, in case we don't run off the cliff, then God's there to catch us. And that's just, makes you feel good. Makes you feel like you're not alone, although everyone is, Anyway, we could go off on that. But it's the whole modern philosophy that we live in a cold, sterile, empty universe. But to admit that I need help, that I need shelter, to admit that I'm not happy and my plans aren't working. There's a type of turtle called the Galapagos turtle. Oh, there's a clock here. Yeah, the Galapagos turtle. And people, it's off the coast of, it's where, what's his name, Darwin was. On the Beagle, that was the name of the boat he was on, which is, and he came up with the dog's philosophy. But there's a type of tortoise that mates on the beach. It's a big sea turtle. And they are so stupid, it's true, that if they're coming up on the beach, it's an endangered species. And here's why. If they hit a rock or a log or something, floats them in jets up, watch, they'll just keep going up against it. They'll back up. No, it's true. They'll back up. And you can join. I mean, they must go from Scripps every year you can go on a boat, and you go down there and you just turn the turtles around. Yeah, that's all you do. You just, hey, bozo, hang a left. Because they're big. They're probably about this big, the shell and the little, and they just pick them up and move them. Oh, thanks, buddy. So to keep doing the same thing, eating, sleeping, mating, defending, do it as a dog, do it as a cat. Prabhupada walks in that park in, Shevet Hills, and Prabhupada usually walk clockwise. One day, just, Prabhupada walked counterclockwise. And our friend, what's his name? Prajapati, I forgot, who was a, Shakespearean actor. In his thespian baritone, he says, I say, Srila Prabhupada, when we get out of the park and walk in a different direction, we see all the objects from a different angle. And it seems to be a brand new park. And you can hear Prabhupada, sometimes Prabhupada like what they call in America, a belly laugher. Prabhupada was really, he really cracked him up. And Prabhupada said, this is material life. You're seeing the same thing. We're eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. But we're doing it as a dog. We're doing it as a cat. We're doing it as an emperor. We're doing it on the skyscraper building, or, looking out over Central Park. Or we're doing it in the, whatever. But it's the same thing. You're eating, just stuff and you see a dog bolt his food. You ever seen people in Japan at those noodle restaurants? You ever seen? They slurp. Isn't it? I'm not picking on Japan. I mean, America, they throw it in the microwave. They can't even heat it up. They can't even cook it. Take some dead thing in microwave. They eat standing up. So how are you different than an animal or a horse? Well, you microwaved it. Okay, fine. So to admit that I need help, my plans aren't working. That's not otherwise you're no better than that tortoise or turtle that's just banging against the same thing, thinking, well, maybe it'll be different this time. Well, try to maybe this time, So, a moon, because it's Nitai Padakama, it's compared to a moon, and go out tonight. I hope it's a clear day, night. But a beautiful, shiny moon. It's hot. Nice moon, and it becomes light. You can see what's going on. You become free from fear. It's soothing. It gives relief. So we want that relief. We're not meant to be in this blazing fire of samsara. No. It's not. Well, this is the best it is, so, We were serving the Sunday feast one time. 2 college kids from SDSU. First time they were here. And I was serving halava, which is always a big hit. So I was serving halava. And I said, would you like some? And the guy thought about it. He says, hey, well, you only go around once in life. I'll take some, And his buddy next to him said, hey, didn't you hear the talk? You go around again and again. So I thought, way to got it. They actually got it. But they said, well, you only go around. There used to be a beer ad. I think it was Budweiser. It doesn't really matter. When you know what Prabhupada called beer? Anyone know what Prabhupada, as a college student, Prabhupada was offered beer, glass of big beer with a head on it. Anyone know what Prabhupada said about it? Yeah, Prabhupada took one sniff and said, "It looks like horse. It smells like horse urine." So why would you? He said, "Why would I drink that?" So we're looking for relief. We're looking for something that brings happiness. We want to feel refreshed. That is our life. Okay. I looked up the word mercy because it talks about parama karuna, mercy. And the word, according to Oxford, mercy means compassion or forgiveness. We are all, if somebody kicks you in the face enough times, what do you say? Hey, forget you, you're on your own, I'm out of here. But forgiveness, and we how many cows have we eaten? It says in which is one of the Puranas, that if one has to take birth, if one kills a cow, one has to take birth for every hair on the body of a cow. Now, Saraputa Prabhu, not one to mince numbers, he was reading Dairyman's magazine. He followed it up. And there's a Dairyman's Mag. It had an advertisement for some antiseptic scrub. You know, you got to scrub down the cow for it's for their skin and parasites and all that stuff. Scrubbed him down. And it advertised, it said, on the average cow, there are over 2,000 hairs per square inch. So I forget exactly what the conclusion was, but you can take the circumference or the surface area of a cow, figure out how many inches there are, and then multiply those inches by 2,000. And that's how many births you have to take. And here it's over here at McDonald's. I think they're up to 13 billion served. I mean, I don't even know if you can get a calculator that can go that high. 13 billion times, and how many cows out of a burger? Oh my gosh. So we need to be forgiven. We've done so lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. And even we don't want it. It's not like we come to Krishna and say, oh, I'm sorry, please save me. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Nityananda, come to us. There was a devotee here. His sister worked downtown when we used to go downtown every day. And he said, his sister said, I can always tell when you guys have been downtown. So he asked, how come? He said, because people come back. They've gone out to lunch. They went past the Harinam party. They're tapping their feet. They're whistling the harekrishna, It's in there. I was parked over here in the old days when it was the diving shop after the Sunday feast. It was dark. And I was getting into my car. And when it's dark, you can't see. So they couldn't see me. And they were getting into their car. And it was one guy said to his friend, he said, damn. Excuse my language, but he said, damn. He said, I can't get that song out of my head. And I felt like telling him, and it's not going away. It's just getting louder and louder, So Lord Nityananda is even more merciful than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Lord Nityananda bangs on the door. Prabhupada said he bangs on the door. When you open the door, he falls and it rolls on the floor. It's knocking everything over. Haribol, Haribol. We have the example when, how does it work? I think I've got it here. How close are we? Okay, we got a little more time. Okay, here we go. Now, Lord Balaram met Ramaharshan Sutta, right? And when Ramaharshan Sutta, who was unqualified to speak, sit on the Vyasasana due to arrogance, how did Lord Balaram dispatch him? With his kusa weapon, dispensed him with a blade of grass. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, according to Bhakti Charu Maharaj, Lord Nityananda. And who did Balaram becomes Nitai? And in that same mood, blade of grass, as Balaram, he uses a blade of grass to dispense Ramaharshan Sutta. But as Lord Nityananda, he puts that straw in his teeth as the Bengali sign of humility and falls at your feet and says, please chant Hare Krishna. So Ramaharshan Sutta, he dispenses with the blade of grass. And all of us, he attracts. Not that we're asking for forgiveness. He doesn't even think, he doesn't even consider who's qualified, who's unqualified. That's mercy. That's forgiveness. And there's another example. Let me find it here. Also, Lord Balaram, he pulled Hastinapur. They offended him. He dragged the whole city. But we find him, instead of, begging from door to door, instead of dragging the house, smashing all the buildings, as Lord Nityananda, he's coming begging from door to door. So it's meant to give us a picture of how merciful Lord Nityananda is. As Balaram, there was another one I was going to say. Anyway, we'll get it tomorrow. But we should consider it's described that Lord Nityananda, and we'll end with this, cuts a channel. Like if I'm trying to get water from one place to another, there's a lake here, and I cut a channel, and that water will flow. You follow? So, conceding that we need help, conceding that we're not happy, our plans aren't working out, we need mercy. Conceding that Krishna's mercy is there, and that's what I'm actually looking for, but how to get it? I'm here, Kali Yuga. We are the bottom of the barrel. I mean, Noah, you're all great Vaishnavas who've taken birth to serve Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But practically anybody with a brain has gotten out of this place. We're the dummies who have not figured out this world is no place to write home about. So how will we get Lord Chaitanya's mercy? So Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda cuts that channel, that the mercy flows from Krishna all the way to us, to the living entities. That is Chaitanya. That is Lord Nityananda. If we want to get Lord Chaitanya's mercy, Lord Nityananda's mercy. I'm just thinking of one other thing, but I guess I'll read it tomorrow. If we want to get mercy, what does that mean? If we want mercy, Prabhupada, when Madhuvisa Prabhu said to Prabhupada that it says that one who's performed lifetimes of devotional service and is freed from all reactions, that person can take up devotional service. So I have no karmic, I'm not engaged in sinful activities. And I perform lifetimes of pious activities. I can take up Krishna service. Now, I don't know about the rest of you, but that's something that was not my status for becoming a devotee. Madhuvisa asked Prabhupada, he said, what to speak of heaps of pious activities? He said, I was eating McDonald's till the day I met you. So how is it possible? Prabhupada said, I have created your good fortune. He said, I've given you your good fortune. Now all I ask is what? Give it to others. If Lord Nityananda's mood, that's the example I was looking for. As Ravana, you have Lord Ram and Lakshman. Lord Ram and Lakshman, who did they become in this relationship? Who did Lakshman become in Chaitanya Leela? He's Lord Nityananda. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Ram become Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now, who was Ravana? Who did he become in Chaitanya Leela? He became Madai. So you've got Lord Ram, Lakshman, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Nityananda. You've got Ravana becomes Madai. And when Ravana shot Lakshman and knocked him out, Hanuman goes, gets the hill, brings him back, revives him, right? You know the story with the herb. Lakshman said, do not play with him. Kill him now. Finish Ravana off. Okay? Lakshman's hit with an arrow. When he revives, he tells Ram, kill him. Now, when that same Balaram, same Lakshman, comes in the mood of Lord Nityananda, and when he's hit by Madai, what does he say to Madai? What does he say to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was there with a chakra and ready to kill him, you've got Lakshman calling to Ram, finish him off. Now you've got that same Lakshman in the mood of Lord Nityananda. And what does he say to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is there with his chakra. What does he say? He says, don't kill him. You've come to save these people. So my point is that you cannot find a more merciful person than Lord Nityananda. Same Balaram, but when he's in the mood of Kali Yuga, delivering the conditioned souls, even if he's been hit in the head, he's bleeding. No. Give him mercy. As Dravida says, if you kill him, you have to kill them all. And your point is to save them. So, If we want to get this mercy of Lord Nityananda, we have to, in our small way, whatever we can, have the mood of Lord Nityananda. What is Lord Nityananda's mission? What is his heart and soul of Lord Nityananda? What is his whole life? Of course, he's eternal, but to deliver the living entities, as he's saying. That's Lord Nityananda's mercy. If we want to become a friend with somebody, you've got to, you're into what they're into. They like to go hang gliding, you like to go hang gliding. They like Chinese vegetarian, you like Chinese, whatever it is. They like to read Shakespeare, they go to all their different clubs, right? And you bond because you do a similar thing. Isn't it? You marry somebody, on one hand, and I hope she's not embarrassed, my daughter said she and her husband, one of the reasons they get along so well, he's a night person, she's a day person. So he goes to sleep, she's awake, he's awake, they get along great, They only really spend about 2 hours a day with each other. They get along fine. He says, who knows if we run each other's nerves 24 hours a day. So, you find, but generally speaking, you find something, you have something in common. You open your heart. It's one that, Rupa Goswami's. So if we want to become friends, of course, that not in the sense of equals, but if we want to become taken into the company of Lord Nityananda, if we want the close association, if we want his blessings, what do we have to do? We have to know his mood. Does that make sense? And what is his mood? Delivering the living entities. So we'll end here, but it's an open secret. We need help. We're not happy. The shelter of Lord Nityananda's lotus feet will give us relief. They will give us happiness, deepest happiness. And it's confirmed by who are we going to believe? Are you going to believe the advertisement that's been created by somebody? All they want to do is turn you upside down and shake your money out of you. All this commercial stuff. Ads, wherever you're getting them. You're getting them in your lawn. I was looking for some socks. And I went on a website. Anyway, it's a special type of sock. It helps with the circulation. I need to get them. So I'm looking for the cheapest ones I can find, right? That'll still do the job. I went onto this one website. For 2 weeks, I've still got it. I can't shake their pop-up ads. Anything I do. When I was looking for this stuff online, this ad about, leave me alone. I'm going to have somebody go in there and kill some cookie or whatever, then they have to kill it. I can't shake this thing. So all they want to do is take from me. All they want to do is agitate my mind. And that one will sell my name to somebody who sells my name to somebody. And in this way, so who really cares about me? The person with the kidney, who, and even my mother, and then they get your new lease on life, dump that old bag, run off with the nurse. Who really cares about us? And even as Prabhupada points out, loving mother, loving father, where are they now? They're gone. Prabhupada said, all I'm left is with the list of names. So who are we going to listen to? Somebody who wants to exploit us? Prabhupada said there's fool number 1 and fool number 2. First half, who's fool number 1? When they're doing something foolish. Who is fool number 2? The one who listens to fool number. You got fool number 1 saying something stupid, and you got fool number 2 who says, oh, sounds good to me. Sign me up. So, who are we going to listen to? Fool number 1? Fool number 2? Plans that don't work? Or are we going to listen to Narottam Das Thakur? He was the son of a king. Have I got that right? Narottam? He was the son of a king. He's an amazing poet, powerful speaker. Isn't it who was it? The Sanskrit scholars went to challenge Narottam Das Thakur, and they met his disciples. It's a whole story. Disciples versus disguised. Is that right? Or is that Lochan? Narottam Das Thakur. So a son of a king, a profound musician. He wrote these bhajans at all different ragas for different times, different moods. A poet, deep philosopher. You can listen to him, or you can listen to Trump, or you can listen to these fools who are selling, diabetic socks online and trying to squeeze the money out of me. Who are we going to listen to? So, therefore, And I'll line it up one last time. We are dependent. We're being kicked like a football, Prabhupada says. And that means like a soccer football. Just you ever watch them play soccer? I mean, they make 2 goals a game. The whole thing is the ball's being bounced back and forth the whole time. We are being bounced like that. Adidaivic, adibautic, adiatmak. So we're suffering. I'm dependent. I'm not happy. These plans aren't working. Who are we going to listen to? Listen to Narottam Das Thakur. Listen to Srila Prabhupada. Listen to the great acharyas. Listen to Shastra. And they say it's simple. In the age of Kali, get the mercy of Lord Nityananda. Therefore, the next question is, and this is the wrap-up, how do I get Lord Nityananda's mercy? That will solve all the problems. And how do we get it? We just said it. By, and I'll say the opposite, by Sankirtan, by preaching, by delivering the conditioned souls. And now, time to greet the deities. And that means book distribution. While a message from our sponsor. All over North America, again, temple presence, different leaders, they're going for 10% increase over last year. We are now at, give me 2 minutes. Not even 2 minutes, give me 1 minute. We are now, because the deities' schedule's off a little bit anyway. Hang on, Ram. Because this is the whole point of why I'm talking. I'm sorry, but when we started this program, meaning the temples in North America, focusing on how to increase book distribution, we thought, well, let's try for 10%. Well, that's probably too much. At that time, the publishing house, the BBT, had an income of under $1 million, a little under $1 million. We couldn't even keep all the books in stock. We'd printed the Bhagavatams, then we didn't have enough money for Chaitanya Charitamritas, or we wouldn't be able to keep the, whatever it was. We didn't have money for grants to temples. This building and the building next door was purchased by a loan from the BBT. They gave us a low interest loan. Who would loan to the Hare Krishnas in those days? So, anyway, I think it's, how many years has it been? I think years. We've increased 10% every year by hard work of dedicated devotees. The BBT is now up to $2 million income. All the books are in print. They're now able to start giving loans. They gave what is that? Radha Vrindavan Chandra? What is it? What's it called? RVC. Yeah, it's a group of brahmacharis. They travel across America. They're growing. We gave them a loan for a van. The BBT gave them a loan. Devotees in Africa, Nigeria, they're nice devotees, but the country's a disaster. BBT sent them a whole set of Bhagavad Gitas and bought them a bus to travel. That's how it's, because there's now money, because we're selling books. So this 10% is serious business. And we need the brahmacharis. We need you guys. I'm talking to you too, Zach. We need you guys to sit down and figure out how we're going to do 10. Don't wait till December and let's hope we can do it. We should plan it. And we, as Vaisheshika, forget 10%. We should smash through 10%. So there's so many ways to do it. But if we want, and we do, if we want to get Lord Nityananda's mercy, which we desperately need, everyone is crying for it. So how to get it? There's a express lane. Distribute Srila Prabhupada's books. Hit that 10%. And Lord Nityananda's mercy, that channel will be cut, and that ocean of mercy will flow down on us into our hearts. Okay, now we can end. Thank you. Hare Krishna.